This episode had me defending BaekHyeun, and I can already hear people calling me crazy, but hear me out. And by the way, I know a lot of people are calling BaekHyeun immature after this episode, but I don't think that's fair. You'll see what I mean later, because there's one moment that completely changed how I see him. Guys, there's a problem. A huge problem. This is honestly the first time I've ever wished for an ex-couple to get back together on this show, but at the same time, I also want the girl to connect with someone new. That's why I said there's a problem, because I've never been this conflicted before. I'm talking about Minkyong and Yushik. I'd love for Minkyong to reunite with her ex Yushik, but I'd also love for her to find someone new. She looks good with every guy she's been with, especially Woojin, or am I going crazy? Let me know in the comments. Also, can we talk about why it's only the older ladies who seem attracted to Yushik? I can't stop laughing every time I think about it, because imagine their faces when they find out he's a 2021 liner. Hi guys, this is Funnel Pop, thanks for tuning in. Please like this video, it really helps a lot, so make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Guys, I'm literally dancing with excitement as I record this. Guess who made me this happy? None other than Minkyong. She was so adorable and so cool in episode 6. At the start of the episode, it felt like she told herself, I'll just let my ex enjoy himself and be free even if no one finds me attractive yet. Remember, in episode 5 she was super upset with Yushik because he was getting along just fine with other girls, and to make it worse, she found out from Hyunji that she'd gone on a date with Yushik before joining the house. That info hit Minkyong hard. Then Yushik stayed up chatting and laughing with other members till dawn, and she lost it. She freaking told him off, warning him to stop staying up late, but we all know that was pure jealousy, right? The way she said, "Stop talking so loud so I can sleep," had me cracking up. She was so obviously pained and jealous, lol. But now in episode 6, when Hyunji told Minkyong she wanted to go on another date with Yushik, Minkyong looked done. She was shocked for a second, then just laid her head on the dressing table like, what do I do about this? But then almost immediately her expression became, I'm over it. I think this was the moment she decided to emotionally let go of her ex so she doesn't get hurt. Then she remembered that she hadn't explored Woojin yet. So boom, she was like, I'll make it easy on Hyunji and allow her to date my ex while I explore the last man in the house that I hadn't dated yet. And guys, this made me so excited, because the way she naturally gave Hyunji the chance to date her ex was so impressive. And what's even more impressive was how she guessed correctly that BaekHyeun was Hyunji's ex. Bro, I was flabbergasted. Like, the girl had detective skills. Which also means Hyunji didn't do a great job at hiding it, lol. But that got me wondering, did Hyunji have any clue that Minkyong and Yushik were exes? When she first mentioned going on a date with Yushik, maybe it was innocent, but I swear she must have noticed Minkyong's reaction. And then to tell her again that she wanted another date with him, was that just coincidence or low-key testing the waters to see Minkyong's reaction? Then when she told Yushik that she's only spoken to Minkyong when she asked him out on a date, the way Yushik threw his head backwards and sighed and said he just needed peace, come on, that was a sign for her to know that they were each other's exes.
그래.
얘기 좀 많이 했어요. 많이 했어요.
민경님이랑.
아, 미치겠다.
왜요?
그냥 뭔가 이 평온함이 너무 좋은데.
Wasn't that enough clue for her to know those two were ex-partners? How did she not connect the dots right there? So either she's truly the most clueless person in the house, or she honestly thought Yoon was Yushik's ex. She probably thought they were both attracted to each other's exes. Notice how she kept staring at Yoon in the morning when Yoon asked if Yushik had eaten breakfast. The chaos is just incredible. Hyunji definitely brought a new energy to the show for sure. Then fast forward to their date. This was when Hyunji became more convinced that Yoon was Yushik's ex. When Yushik said he told BaekHyeun his ex would find him the most attractive, and that BaekHyeun said the same, she went speechless and was like, "Oh, I think I know who that is." That's when I realized Hyunji may have been more convinced that Yoon was Yushik's ex. Since it is very obvious that Yoon is the one attracted to her ex the most. Not only that, I think Yushik too must have confirmed his suspicions as well during that date. I realized that not only did Minkyong guess Hyunji's ex correctly, but Yushik also figured out who her ex was, based on her reaction during that convo. And also, probably because Hyunji always gets fidgety when her ex is around. It's also insane how Yushik lost his focus after asking Hyunji if she preferred someone who's dated for a long time or someone who's dated multiple people. When she said, multiple people, that line kept playing over and over in his head so much that he lost focus. For him to be so taken aback by her response shows that he is interested in her romantically. He wished she was okay with the fact that he had dated somebody for 10 years, but of course, she repeatedly said she didn't like that. So, after he lost focus, I think he gave the clues away that he was in a relationship for a long time. I believe she kind of knew after that. But who knows, she's a clueless queen, she still may not have clocked it even after all of that giveaway. Their date wasn't that exciting to me, but they did get a little bit closer. They got to know each other better. I just doubt if Yushik will ever make a move on her himself, without her pushing first. For a guy who says he wants to get back with his ex, he's enjoying himself a little too much. He and his ex have similar traits. They're both here to enjoy this process to the fullest. Now let's talk about Woojin and Minkyung's date. That was the highlight of episode 6 for me. She was so cute, fun, and her vibe just hit different compared to her other dates. By the time they got to their dating spot and I saw how strong their chemistry was, I started shipping them, and then instantly felt guilty because I still want her and Yushik to reunite, lol. Their reason for breaking up wasn't even that solid, considering how much they've shared and known each other, and now that we know Woojin is a chef and he's also busy, that means they wouldn't fit in the real world as well. So, my hopes for Minkyong and Woojin being a couple rose during their date, but fell flat after discovering he's a chef who owns a restaurant. Moving on to BaekHyeun. BaekHyeun, in my opinion, really wants his ex back. You can just feel it. These two, exes of 5 years, are so nervous around each other that it's actually dramatic to watch. Why does Hyunji feel the need to always hide when she sees her ex as if she's doing something bad? She already knows that she's on this show to explore different connections. If it doesn't work out, fine. If you end up going back to your ex, fine. Or even if you leave the house alone, that's also fine. But the vibe she gives off is like someone who already made a secret agreement with her ex to get back together. I'm not saying that's what they did, I'm just saying that's the vibe she's giving off. She looks guilty just for going on a date or talking with Yushik. Maybe it's because her ex was the one who set up the first dates with Yushik. Maybe that's why she's struggling, 'cause I just can't figure it out. And BaekHyeun isn't subtle either. The man literally said his heart feels like the storm outside after his ex left for her date with Yushik. They're both so obvious about being each other's exes that Minkyong clocked it. I'm pretty sure Yushik has too, and honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if Yoon also figured it out after his stormy heart comment. Speaking of Yoon, she asked BaekHyeun out on a date, but he was reluctant to go out. At first, I thought it's probably because he doesn't really want to go out with her, but he's texted her 3 days in a row even when he went on a date with someone else, so that should mean that he likes her, right? Still, I feel like his brain wants him to move on to someone else, but his heart is stuck with his ex. Anyway, he eventually agreed to go out with her the next day, and I'm just like, yep, this man's fighting a losing battle against his feelings. But, if he is bent on revenge on his ex for his past pains, then he will definitely open up his heart completely to Yoon. But, I think he's kind of interested in her. That comment about Yoon making others happy, besides being naturally cheerful, is actually a great compliment, and I think BaekHyeun is a very sweet guy. Did you guys see how sweet BaekHyeun was when he told Hyunji not to speak casually to him? That moment melted me. It was so gentle, yet full of tension. Their chemistry is fire. You can tell these two exes have missed each other deeply. 5 years is a long time. They've shared so much. Remember, they were together when he was injured, plus he wrote letters to her every day while he was in the military, and she even lived in his parents' house. Guys, don't ever underestimate the bond they had. Just standing next to each other, you can feel it, that energy, that longing. It's so strong that it almost spills off the screen. No wonder she went upstairs later to cry with BaekHyeun. Honestly, anyone calling BaekHyeun immature or Hyunji a copycat for crying has clearly never been in love before. Because if you've ever loved someone passionately, you'd understand exactly what these two are feeling inside that house. By the time everyone got back home, BaekHyeun tried to ask Yushik if he went out or how his day was, and this guy avoided the question like a pro. Instead of saying he was out on a date, he gave her sweet answers that made her heart melt. Even I was smiling watching their little moment on the stairs. I enjoyed how cute they were and how girly BaekHyeun became in that scene. Something about them feels soft and sweet, but I won't ship because I feel like there's definitely a storm coming in future episodes. Meanwhile, I love how unbothered Minkyong was while the other girls were making moves on her man, lol. Still, it's really hard for me to dissociate her from Yushik. The way I see it, Minkyong definitely wants her ex back, but she's not the type to act pitiful or beg for attention. And the second she starts forming a real romantic bond with someone new, Yushik's going to spiral for sure. Oh, and something else caught my attention during Hyunji and Yushik's date. When they were talking about who their exes might find most attractive, Hyunji said in her interview that she doesn't think her ex and Yushik would ever have a reason to fight over her. And I'm just sitting here thinking, is that foreshadowing? Because if those two guys, who actually like each other, end up fighting because of her later, that will be entertaining and surprising. Have I mentioned how much I love Jiyeon's voice? The tone, the texture, it's so unique. It's not something you hear every day. During her date with Wonkyu, she whispered at some point, I don't think she did that intentionally, it's just the way she talks, and it was very sexy at that moment. But let's talk about Wonkyu. He's exactly the type of man I'd be most scared to date, because this man has only one expression. This man is so hard to read and he has a resting bitch face, which makes me wonder exactly why Jiyeon is attracted to him. Is she really that attracted to him, or she just wants to quickly find someone who she can use to make her ex feel jealous? She boldly reaffirmed to him that if she only had 5 dates on the show, she'd rather use all 5 dates on him. And this is why I feel like she's not doing this right. She's love-bombing him, and at some point, if their pacing is mismatched, or if he decides he's into someone else, or even wants his ex back, she'll be in some big emotional mess. Actually, I think he had a spark with Minkyong when they went on their date. Anyway, by the end of episode 6, here's how the housemates voted. Jiyeon and Wonkyu matched. Yushik and Hyunji matched. Minkyong and Woojin matched. And finally, BaekHyeun and Yoonyoung matched. The only person who didn't get a match was BaekHyeun. I think Yushik texted Hyunji mostly out of courtesy, but besides his ex, I actually think he finds BaekHyeun the most fascinating. That's just my observation for now, so all that cry that BaekHyeun is doing, bawling her eyes out, was totally unnecessary. Yushik didn't want to get up to follow her while his ex was there, so he sat down there after BaekHyeun told everybody that she's been crying. Though he tried to go check up on her, but he couldn't because he met BaekHyeun and Hyunji by the stairs, so rather, he asked her how BaekHyeun was doing instead. Things actually got even crazier in episode 7, so make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss my thoughts on that. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. Please like this video, it really helps a lot, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like the video, share it with your friends, and subscribe so you'll get notified as soon as I upload the next one. See you soon, bye.